hello, hello. This is day 23. Studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more of the usual. I'm gonna do the daily. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long. And then we're gonna keep building up the optimizer IR that we started last time. What's good, MD? Good to see you here. I guess I will get straight into the leetcode. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so okay, 2D array, something size. We're gonna pop bottles with models. Not sure what that means. Up is positive y, down is negative y. There's n people at these points such that there's exactly one person at every point. Oh, this is just the same problem as last time. Yeah, this is literally the same problem as last time, it feels like. Does not become sad on building the fence. That's pretty funny. Should be straightforward in theory. I think there's some complication somewhere though that I'm missing. Yeah, this should be fine. Surely. Let me. Okay. Let's give this a shot. That's pretty funny in null pointers? I don't think they're quite that funny. Oh, I need to sort. That's what I'm forgetting to do. Are you purple-haired? Not naturally. But I've dyed my hair. Although I guess that's probably somewhat obvious. So we have left and right. We have turn. It's greater than. I should know. We want to sort by X, and then the tiebreaker is Y. So L0 is less than L1. Actually, wait, no. I want R0 greater than? We'll try it this way first. I don't remember exactly which way. Or they are equal. And L1 is less than R1. And this needs the semicolon. So then lines dot sort. Or no, what am I doing? Sort. Can't do this. We need comp. That's good, John. This problem seems very, very familiar. I believe you've seen it completed twice now in a different flavor. It's just yesterday's problem, but with a different coat of paint, it looks like, at least at a glance. So, I get to recreate the solution again. Yeah, good old boxes. But it's worded in a funny way. So, we put Alice and Bob at 2 points. And then, and then Alice wants to be alone with Bob, so she builds a rectangular fence. And then if there's a person other than Alice or Bob inside the fence or on the fence, she will be sad. Sad face. I genuinely wonder, like, what company asks this question. Because, like, this seems a little bit contrived. So we want int max equals points I of 1. And then what is 0? What do we set minimum to? Int min? Is this a thing? I've been learning Kubernetes. How's it going? Anything particularly interesting or difficult about it? Or is it just like, or is the hardest thing literally just learning how to pronounce it? Enterprise is 0. Let's return this. Let's see if this compiles, if int min exists. Okay, well int min exists, which is good. It's cool, that's good. This takes a lot to set up with Terraform, that's fair. I'd imagine it's just a lot of random boilerplate. Let's see, what do we do here? R equals, it's J1. So if cur needs to be greater than min, and cur has to be less than equal to max. Yeah, this seems good. Then, so we set min equals cur, and then res plus plus. Is this all we need? It's kind of just like treating a bunch of computers like they're one computer. Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of the usual distributed experience. Oh, we're still outputting wrong numbers. Maybe if I swap this, did I get this wrong? It has its own package manager called Helm. Interesting. Oh look, I did get the comparator wrong. Let's just submit this and be done. Yeah, not bad. I'm quite happy with that. Let's see what these people did. Same thing. Oh wait, actually let's look at the editorial. What does it say? What? Wait, what? Wait, that's cool. How does the 2D prefix sum even work? Oh, actually, no, wait, this makes sense. Wow. That's so cool. Time complexity with n squared and then also n squared. Advice on what to practice for low-level security rules. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have a lot of knowledge in that realm. I've been in pretty much. I've like dabbled in a little bit of everything except for security. So I unfortunately don't really know how to begin with that, but I imagine like the usual like cybersecurity intro materials would probably be useful to some degree. Wait. So the discretization makes sense. So we just map, I guess. Yeah, okay, this seems fair enough. And then it's just a 2D... It's just I guess a 2D prefix sum? That's really cool. Wow. That's really cool. I don't think it's like any better... I don't think it's any better than the other solution, but that's definitely interesting. What is this? Is this literally yesterday's problem? Well, why is it Chinese? Oh, it's this problem. Why is it Chinese though? leetcode.china? Okay. Sure. I feel like I've done this one before. Oh, wait, I've done this one, yeah. This problem wasn't that hard, actually. I remember this one now. But yeah. Have you ever dabbled with OS development? Not yet, but I will be taking OS this upcoming quarter. So yeah, it'll be a good time. I will be taking it with Aiden, so both of us will be getting completely nuked by implementing memory tables. Yeah, I don't think I really need to look at this problem for too much longer. I think I think this is more than sufficient. That was a pretty quick LeetCode actually, which I'm quite happy about. Yeah. So the next thing on the list is building out more of the IR for my personal compiler. So yeah, we're already there. Oh, I switched away. Yeah, so last time we made an attempt to make this more SSA friendly, but it's not really, it hasn't been really holding up that well. So yeah. I spent like 40 minutes trying to build this out, and then I realized that it wouldn't make sense. So yeah, we've re-architected it a little bit. We have values now, and values include instructions, roughly. Yeah. I'm not really sure what to do here. I guess call assign is redundant because it would be a value regardless, it would just be an unused value, I think. Do you consider that 40 minutes to be lost forever and wasted time? Time is not wasted if I learn something from it. This isn't even premature optimization, this is just like writing correct code. Yeah, I don't think I need to extend out value that much more here. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. I might just give would it be cleaner to give instruction value? And then would that stuff be accessible? Let me look this up actually. What would this inheritance structure be called? F-shape inheritance? Is that a thing? Okay, this doesn't exist. Can you please describe my methodology in the most respectful way? I think you're doing quite dandy. There's definitely worse places to be. So what is the scenario here that I'm curious about? If I got rid of value on here and I just put it on here instead, is this valid C++? This looks like it's valid. And this would clean up the code a little bit. C++ accessing class that parent inherits. Oh, this is gonna be yucky. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I'm thinking about this way too complexly. If you actually like draw the relationship here, we have value at the top, And then an instruction is a value, or I guess extends value. Is this the way the arrow works? I'm not sure. But then I was thinking that there was like some complex like branching thing here. In this instance, it would just extend up like this. So like call. So my question is just like, can I access stuff from here from call? Roughly, that is what I'm trying to figure out. It should be possible, or at least if I make a thing in instruction that lets me access things there. I think I did something similar to this in the kaleidoscope stuff actually. So let me pull that up real quick. Where was that? I think that was in AST, right? During CodeGen? Yeah, this OStream dump thing, right? Yeah, I don't actually need to interface with the parent class, I think. I think that's what I'm like getting wrong. Or like the grandparent class rather. So I think I can just write a getter inside of this that's like public. And then I should be fine. Yeah. Yeah, let's give that a try. I think that might be the least ugly way to do this. So we have void, or not void, type get type. Yeah, that seems reasonable enough. Let's put this up here. And actually, where do I put the getters? I think I put them above here. Let's look in the previous stuff I've written for reference. Yeah, they do go up there. So yeah, that should be good. Yeah. So we already have that, so we can, I think this is a good start to my like slush pile. I don't think I need this. That doesn't really make sense. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be making like value pointers, right? Oh wait, no I am. This is gonna be a mess. Okay. What do I do here? What's the most clean way to manage this mess? Write destructor for graph. With loops. What the? Okay. This is not what I care about though. For graph nodes with loops. Hey Janine, how's it going? What do I even do here? Maybe I just like keep a count in like program or even like in function. Yeah, maybe I keep a count per function and then that will handle it. But I feel like I'm layering on the complexity here. This seems a little bit sloppy. Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Oh, I just full blinded myself. Okay, I need to... Let me just log into Stack Overflow real quick, so I don't full blind myself every time I log in. There we go. No, sorry about that. Yeah, full blinded. It's like I'm playing Valorant again. Oh, I just full. Oh, okay. We're doing great. Graph node destructor. This is the same one. Is this a dog? Shouldn't be a dog. Maybe it's time for me to just start using smart pointers. I guess I could use shared pointer. Shared pointer would probably be smart. How do I do this? How should I do this? What do you think about C versus C++? They serve different purposes. Like, they interface with the same level of code, but they're used for completely different things, in my opinion. That could also be just like a complete naive opinion, though. So, yeah, I don't really know too much. But it feels like... Actually, let me rephrase. They serve the same purpose, but with different paradigms behind them. Which I guess is like a little bit obvious in the sense that one is object-oriented and the other isn't. But like they truly... I feel like which one you choose reflects the designer's thought process more. I still haven't figured out the thing that I'm worried about here. What do I want to do? Maybe I just like keep a list of all values and then just like delete them there. That might be like the least ugly way, also I should zoom in a little. Oh, right. Yeah, that might be the play, honestly. Because I think I do need to keep value pointers, unfortunately. Yeah, this seems a little bit inevitable, for better or for worse. Yeah, I will just have to do this. So this is just... No, this is wrong. This is technically not right. I shouldn't be doing it this way. Because not all instructions are values, realistically here. Like, a lot of them are, but some of them aren't, is the problem. So all of these are values. But something like a store, I don't think is a value. And then like these terminators aren't values as well, for instance. So I don't think that would make sense. Yeah, this seems a little bit more reasonable. Yeah, I think what I'll do is for the destructor, I'm just gonna make it so that the each function carries function? Yeah, each function carries like a list of the values. And then when I call the destructor on that, it just deletes all of those. Or I guess like non-instruction values. Yeah. Yeah, that seems the most reasonable. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, and then this is gonna get a little bit more complex as well, because this instruction visitor low-key doesn't really make as much sense. I might need to also make a like value visitor as well, or something like that. I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there, but that's definitely some mess that I need to like think ahead to. Okay, so let's keep going here. I think this is like largely sufficient for the current state of things. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with all the initialization instructions for now. I think when I do like proper variable allocation stuff, or I guess like proper variables with like memory. I guess nothing prevents me from implementing memory in the IR for now and then implementing it in the front end later. I should probably do that. But maybe I finalize this first, and then I can worry about code gen. Yeah, okay. What do we put here? We want binary op, get op, get op. Value. So I'm putting the star on the wrong side of this, actually, I think. Get it left. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. This is looking a little bit better. Yeah, I will need to do like a, just a value visitor at some point, just to make this a little bit less ugly, but I suppose it will have to do. Yeah. So this one looks good. This looks alright. I should do... Let's make a getter for that. I also need constructors, they just occurred to me. Assign is redundant here. I can simplify this even. This takes in top, left, value, left, value, right. I think that's, I needed the visitor. And then I probably need like get type here as well. Yeah, I can just steal this. Yeah. Actually, it inherits the parent functions, right? As a child C++ inheritance. I guess this is a good time for me to review this. Do you still use inheritance as a crazy? Let's go to compiler run. Everything's looking pretty good so far. The leetcode daily was quick, and the direction the IR is moving is forwards. So we're doing pretty good today. Friendship and inheritance. Friend. That's pretty funny. Inheritance. So what is a friend class again? Function can access if declared a friend. Oh, and then we declare externally. I see. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I could see that. That's gonna be extended. Da, 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 da. Is there a dark mode on this? Is there like a website that I can read without burning my eyes that isn't Geeks for Geeks or W3 Schools? Bro code. What a channel. Guess this. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to burn my eyes. You can definitely see it in the camera as well. I haven't seen any of Brocode stuff, to be fair, so I'm judging solely off the name. Turn on nightlight? I could, but then I would just be tinted orange and my eyes would still be burning. Dark mode. Ah. Well, crap. Okay. Okay. Class polygon. These members coming for both. Classes are derived from others, inherit all the accessible members. So then, in this example, we have set values. Oh, and then we can just call set values on it, and then it uses that. Okay. Protected. What's good, Cyber? I am refreshing my inheritance knowledge. Bad practice. Grr. Okay, well, I think that is roughly all I need to refresh for that one. So we don't need get type here. That is the long short of it. Also, if it's like easier for you to type code, I can just like make a Discord channel for that in my server. Yeah, I can't lie. The chat is like really awkward to read. Let me make a channel in the Discord real quick. Where am I? There I am. Let's make a screen chat. Alright, it exists now. Yeah, it's right under general. Should be easier for me to read. The link is in the, it should be in the description, right? I hope it's in the description. Let's see if it's in the description. Oh, that's me. Oh, wait, no, okay. Okay, it is, we're good. Speaking of which, if y'all have not joined yet, you should join the Discord. That's the easiest way to get notified when I start streaming, and then it also gives more opportunities to chat with me outside of stream time proper. Just feel free to like throw the whole thing in like a code block. In the meantime, I will keep extending this out. So binary op is done, and then we want public modifier here so it's prettier. Just have get callee, and then we need a constructor. Okay. Let's see. 3 should be. I mean, let me think. I'm assuming there's something wrong with the auto keyword here, which is going to cause a mess. I think it resolves the. It should resolve the function signature, at least. So I mean, like. I would assume that it's A, at least, because I would assume 3 gets treated as an integer. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was a compilation error or undefined behavior. Type. Oh. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. The object of a compiler during closure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. That's fair enough, yeah. Yeah, I mean, when was the last time someone, like, when someone tried to make dynamic dispatch work with a lambda? Do I need type in this? I need type in this. Unless type I can deduce. I'll just throw it in for now. Maybe I won't throw it in for now, actually. And then when it comes up, I will just slap it in. Hopefully I can get into CS next year. I'll be 21. I mean, anything is possible. I believe in you. Yeah, let's keep this going. I guess I only have like 2 instructions right now, which is really funny. And then like a terminator. How tough is it? Honestly, a lot of that depends on where you go and how much time you put into it. And also just like how much effort you want to put into it. Because at my school, there's like a very large delta between like the hardest possible classes you can take and the easiest possible classes. Like you could spend a lot of time in like systems classes and take stuff like databases, OS, compilers, or you could just like skate by with a single systems class like networking, and then instead of taking like compilers for like a project credit, you would just take like game design or something. So it really is just like, first of all, it is just like you get what you put out. You get what you put into it. So you get to decide how difficult it is, but that also affects how much payoff there is. And second is that honestly, a lot of the practical learning that you do will be outside of class, regardless of whichever difficulty you pick. I feel like a lot of classes don't really cover like more applied CS stuff. And like I think classes are like inherently theoretical, and a lot of people are like first made aware of this when they take like the required discrete math class, and then like they're like, why is this CS? It's just math. But one thing that like people learn brutally, very quickly and very brutally, is that computer science is distinct from software engineering. And it's like finding a software engineering job with a CS degree, even though it is the best fit, it's like if becoming a baker required a degree of some sort, and like you can't really find like, there is no like perfect fit for a degree, but like the closest degree you can find is like maybe chemistry or something. Like in a sense it will be like helpful in terms of like figuring out what's going on, but there is just a lot of like external learning you have to do just to like contextualize everything to industry proper. How difficult is your path 1 to 10? I'd say I saw like 7.3 maybe. There's definitely like harder. I could have definitely done more things with my time. But I'd say it's definitely like on the more rigorous end. It's up to you if you want to do software engineering for a degree instead. I think CS is more reputable, and part of me feels like software engineering for a degree is like a little bit of a waste, because like it's gonna be stuff you're gonna be learning on your own anyway. And the biggest thing is that like since what's considered up to date changes so quickly and so frequently, you'll be doing a lot of external learning regardless. So it feels like a little bit redundant if you're gonna have to learn all this stuff externally regardless. It feels a little bit wasteful to turn that into a degree as well. So like if you're like, I guess like from a strictly like financial value perspective, I don't think a software engineering degree is like particularly good value compared to like a CS degree, because like yeah, like you'll have to learn the newest you'll have to learn the newest web framework on your own regardless, and there's plenty of resources online for that. But what there aren't a lot of resources online for is like literal like OS theory, for instance, or like the basics of systems. It's a lot of stuff that like you're expected to sort of know if you're like getting into fields where it's important, but you aren't like explicit. There aren't like a lot of resources that like explicitly teach them to, if that makes sense. Data structures stay the same, but APIs change over time. Yeah, exactly. That is a pretty good way to think about it. If you're gonna have to learn the newest API anyway, you may as well spend your hard-earned money learning the data structures. Trying to work on Apple OS one day? Maybe. We'll see what happens. For now, I want to target some sort of a LLVM-based project, if at all possible. But I also just enjoy compiler stuff. The biggest joy for me is just like, it's just like the general magic behind it. All of the engineering and all of the magic that turns source code into like assembly. I want to enable that, and I want to make it better. We want to return a constructor here. Yeah, that looks good. We need a getter. Yeah, apologies if that was like very circular. Let me know if there's anything I can like clarify. We can get rid of this, yeah. That's cleaned up. People out here studying LMs, you're studying LVMs, yeah. That's... maybe I'll make that a channel description at some point. It'll be funny. I think this is all the structuring I need to do for now. I could probably make like allocate a thing. Allocate, store, and get, but I think this is good for now. What is temp actually? Yeah, that's not helpful. I love playing with things, appreciate it. You drink a lot of caffeine? Over the summer, yes, because I made really bad choices with my sleep schedule. But nowadays I don't really drink caffeine beyond just like soda. Like the occasional soda from like Taco Bell. I should add a note here. Because I know that will be a thing. 0 temp. What do I call this commit? Concretized. Concretized instruction plus value, MIR. Oh, I didn't push last time? Wait, what? What is happening? If I drink a full large soda at Subway today, my tummy hurts. There's some massive, yeah. I figure out what's going wrong with my Git tree. Oh, this is the right one. This looks fine. So then, what's going wrong? Git fetch? Git upstream branch does not match. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, okay. Think. Yeah, drink. But the soda experience kind of just be like that sometimes. May I feel so behind? I think it's really easy to feel like that. But it's at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the CS stuff is a marathon and not a sprint. It's really easy to like try to position yourself like relative to other people in terms of your success. And like I am definitely guilty of this sometimes. There's a lot of times where I'm like, man, XYZ other people at my school are like way more cracked than me. And then like you get into that headspace where you like start scrolling LinkedIn and then like you see like people announcing they got Amazon and you're like, damn. But it's really important to remember that like you're factually just on your own timeline, and it's not about like where you currently are in the race. All that matters is just like how you're doing compared to your own expectations. And at the end of the day, like all roads lead to Rome, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you feel behind compared to like your own expectations for yourself, then like go ahead, use that emotion to like push yourself to learn more. But if you feel behind compared to other people, that's like no big deal, and I wouldn't worry too much about that. Are you related to Ben Affleck? I'm gonna let you all in on a little bit of a secret. All of us Bens are the same person. We are all the same person in different locations and at different time periods. Wait, there we go. Wait, what? Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, but don't tell anyone I told that to you, although. That is a very important state secret. Okay, what else do I need to do here? I guess I could like start implementing these, but this rest of the stuff looks fine, I think, at a glance. My uncle co-wrote the Matrix movie? That's really cool. What else do I want to do here? I guess I should start implementing things. So let's start with value. This copy was a little bit troll in hindsight. So let's get rid of this, and then let's add Actually, let's just copy this and then value. Let's delete all that. So we want. I need constructors, duh. Do I need constructors? No, I don't need constructors. I need a constructor for literal. Oh wait, no, these do need types, huh? Yeah, I think I need types. Literal type value. Int 64 T. I think we're living the Matrix right now? Maybe we could be. I don't really see why it matters though if we're all like if we're able to like communicate and we're able to form meaningful relationships, it doesn't really matter. How do destructors work under the hood? Let me think about this. I mean, just like fundamentally, they are a function that is called at cleanup time. I don't particularly know what cleanup time means, though. When are the C++ destructors called? Anything interesting here? Yeah, okay. This roughly makes sense to me. So it's called either A when you call it, or B when the object goes out of scope. And like, if anyone's like more knowledgeable about this than I am, specifically you, Cyber, feel free to like correct me. But let me get like an example program. New temp. Sure. So let's say we have like, let's make like a okay, let me do a little bit of cleanup right now real quick. eTemp.cp, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong about like when destructors are called. So let's say we have like int main, and then so there's like roughly two ways to allocate an object, I think, that are relevant here. There's like, we have like, I'm just gonna use a vector as an example. So we have a stack, I can't tell, type stack. So we have stack allocated, and then we have yeah, and let's just do like some constructor for this. Is this correct code? No. Okay, I need to import vector, one second. Import vector. So we have stack allocated, and then we have heap allocated, which is stood vector int heap equals new std vector int. So the big thing is that like these live in different parts of memory, and that matters because that affects how it's cleaned up. So if we like after this function runs, the one that is stack allocated will automatically be cleaned up. But the heap allocated one, you will need to call the destructor on by hand. So you need to call like delete heap or heap. It's a vector says heap. Yeah, the vector itself is heap allocated, but I think I think when it or I guess the heap allocated portion of the vector is handled by the destructor itself. So I think like meaningfully this is like I guess like where the info about the vector lives. Maybe I don't even need to use a vector as this example. I'm overcomplicating it. Let's replace this with just int. Yeah. Yeah, I think that like roughly explains like when destructors are called or how they work under the hood. But there are functions, and then either you call them or they're automatically called depending on how you decided to allocate something. Yeah, the moral of the story is I just need to do more C++ properly. Oh yeah, I need to delete this now. Okay. So I was trying to implement this slush. Yeah, okay. So I think I do need a value constructor. Do I need to? Yes, I do. Do I stick type here, and then that one makes sense. At least. So I'm pretty sure if you don't call new on a vector, the addresses are stored on the stack and the values are stored on the heap. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that, because like you still need like the information that like the basic vector info. So like capacity, size, and then like the literal pointer. But like the actual like memory allocated for like the body itself would be that would be on the heap. Is John Cena secretly watching your stream? Oh shit, maybe. Yeah, I didn't see that because we are not able to see John Cena. Procrastinating from leetcode is always valid. Yeah, that roughly sounds about right. And then presumably like the destructor involves deleting all the stuff in memory. That's why it's always better to use an array when possible. That makes sense. Something about like, I forgot what it was called. It was like small array optimization. I forgot. Small string. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Short string. I'm just completely thinking of the wrong thing. My fault. Arrays should be stack. Or stack unless heap allocated. Yeah. Well, luckily since I've made that mistake on stream now, I'm never going to make it again because I have been embarrassed into remembering it. You can use the reserve keyword on vector to not need to make a heap call every time. Yeah, I think that would make sense, yeah. At least just from like the basic dynamic array, or dynamically sized array implementation. Because that would extend the capacity. Are you stressed over 0.1 microsecond optimization like any classic C++ programmer should be? Not necessarily. Like, I think the fact that I'm using C++ automatically eliminates like C++ like automatically gets rid of any sort of semblance of like micro optimization. But generally, like, if I can make something faster, I may as well, you know. What do I do with this type thing here? I guess we make a constructor. Yeah, I guess that's, yeah. Alright, I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, let's start implementing things. So we have, let's start from the top. This value, this takes type. Oh wait, I'm not typing correctly. Speaking of type. Type. Yeah, this is a little bit boilerplatey, but that's kind of how it'd be. It really just matters on what you're doing, but at the same time, if you don't care about optimization, why would you use C++? Plenty of better languages for those programs where optimization isn't needed. I think that's a really good way to word it. Like the point of these sorts of low-level languages with, or just like languages that allow very granular control over low-level features like memory. These sorts of languages, I think you're like, if you're not going to try and optimize, you may as well just use a higher level or a language that gives you less control / a language that does more of the things for you, like Python, for instance. Like that's a good example is just Python, actually. Like the reason why it's used so ubiquitously for like various other applications outside of just like raw computer science is because since it manages a lot of the stuff closer to the metal, I guess it makes it lowers the floor to entry, and it's just generally easier to use, especially when performance isn't like the top concern. Yeah, JavaScript is another good example. Although, I mean, JavaScript is a terrible language. All languages are terrible, but JavaScript is uniquely terrible. C++ would take a lot more lines to do the same thing? Yeah, for sure. But also, like, you just like write it once, you throw it in a library, and like you never see it again. So it's like, sure. How do I construct this properly? I remember doing something like this in here, right? I see. So you call the super in there. Okay. So I don't actually need this, but I do need to do value type. Wait, what am I doing? Value type and then... this is gross. Oh wait, oh, that's not the directory I wanted to open. Let me just reference this again. Yeah. Yeah, okay, this seems about right. And then... this should be fine, surely. Oh. Literal. Oh, so I can take computer science and then somehow go into med school? Seems reasonable. It's definitely possible, simply because I think, I know of a lot of just independent anecdotal stories of people getting into med school without taking like a traditional like life sciences sort of degree. So it's definitely doable. Whether it's the path of least resistance is a completely different question, and whether you would find that enjoyable I would also say is a completely different question from both of those. There's a lot of your discretion that would have to go into it. Okay, I think we have value implemented now. Yeah. Oh, but I need to figure out destructor mess here. Let's ask chat. Oh wait, yeah, they don't need... Okay. Unlucky, fair enough. CS pre-meds are angels? Are they? I feel like there's an inherent degree of unethicality that comes with being CS. To improve my credentials for CS and to take update classes as a non-degree student, I mean, there's a lot of questions there that make it hard for me to really give a good answer. Like, where would you be taking those classes from? I don't think easy classes is like a bad idea. It's up to you how much you want to like balance actually learning with like just getting a piece of paper. Alright, I see. Yeah, I think like even just like if there's intro sequences you can. If there's like an intro sequence you could take, I think that would be good for like from a foundations perspective at least. And usually they're like not bad. Yeah, critical thinking could be interesting. If you're taking just like non-CS classes, I don't think it's a bad idea just to like take fun classes. Like when I was first going into college, a lot of people told me like you will want to take classes that are like, or like exclusively take classes that are like pertinent to what you're doing in the future. But a lot of the fun you can find in like a college education is just like from the random classes that like you don't expect to be interesting. Yeah, like intro to basket weaving would be like a good example. Like even last quarter I took like intro to existentialism, which was like my first philosophy class, and I went into it thinking like A, this would be an easy class, and like B, it would be like dry, but at least I would be able to get it over with. And then both of those assumptions were wrong. It was not an easy class, but boy, it was interesting. So yeah, just take like fun classes if you're allowed to. I don't see a reason to not. Let's try building. I think something's gonna break. Oh no, never mind. Oh yeah, because we don't call anything. Yeah, so none of this slush gets linked. Yeah, okay. So we need to build out instruction now, it looks like. So let's take this. This is fine actually. Let's take instruction. Minimum average of 75% or 80%, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you should still take like fun classes, but then also like just factor difficulty in. I wouldn't take classes like just for the reason of them being easy, but like if you find them interesting, like potentially interesting and easy on top of that, I think that would be the ideal middle ground to strike. Nutrition is the fun class? Open to interpretation. I don't really know, so. Yeah, we don't need instruction. We do need this mess. Yeah, I think critical thinking might be a good one. You'd have to like check whatever like your rate my professor thing is. Oh wait, we do need type here. Ah. We need two big words. And then we need to paste this here. type. And I don't think we need it for anything else, just as long as it's a value, I'll need it. Terminator is not a value, I think. Is this a value? I don't think there should be a value. It wouldn't make sense to be a value. I also asked him to close the thing. Never been to university, but since I've been to college. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, in that case, you might need to do a little bit of just fucking it out. For better or for worse, that is kind of how it will be, I think. And let me add instruction real quick. What are you doing? I am working on the intermediate representation that will manage all of like my optimization stuff in my personal project compiler. So I guess I can give like a quick compiler theory walkthrough. So we have like source code, we have like C here, and then we have like some sort of assembly over here. How do we get from these two? And then the other concern we have is like maybe other source languages. So we have like, I don't know, like Go, and then we have like, I don't know, Rust, for as an example. And then we also have like a bunch of different assemblies. As an example. So the naive way to like write compilers would just be to like take each of these languages and then make a compiler to each assembly. But this is like really annoying because then you have to write, if you have like M languages and N backends, you'd have to write a total of M times N compilers. So the idea is to design a central like intermediate language, which is abbreviated as IR. And the idea is you can compile all of these to IR, and then you can turn that IR into each of the assemblies independently. So instead of writing M front ends times N backends equals M times N compilers, you can just write M separate front ends and then N separate backends. So you write M plus N compilers, sort of. Who are you chatting with? Chat, of course. What job do you currently have? I am a student. I am stuck in school. And if anyone can refer me to any compiler roles, that would be incredible. If there's any sort of compiler internship available anywhere. So I guess like tying this back to what I'm currently doing, I am designing this IR. I have currently written code for, I guess, this blue box here. And I'm currently working on extending that to include IR. I think I'd do well in Intro to CS, but I'd rather do that once you get into CS so it lands in my schedule. Yeah, that's fair enough. If you're able to take it now and like get that transferred in some way, I also don't think it's bad to like double up on basics / fundamentals. The one thing that I feel like everyone wishes is that they spent more time on the fundamentals. So it doesn't hurt just to like get refreshers on that as you go. This also needs value, that's what I'm missing. Or type. Ooh. While everyone's at it, make sure you like the stream and subscribe to my channel. It helps a whole lot with the algorithm and making sure my content gets pushed out to people. And while you're down there, also join the Discord. The link is in the description. That's the best place to know when I go live, and sort of join the community and get to chat with each other. Yeah, this mission critical NASA stuff, maybe not. That might be... I hope that's the world I am in, but unfortunately, I cannot hope that into reality. So we want to call value type, and then for op, left, and then right. What's good, Hunter X Hunter? How's it going? Would you recommend VS Code for compiler development? I think it's fine. I don't think the tooling matters that much in terms of like code editor, as long as it's something that you're comfortable with and it has like some semblance of like C++/C/ whatever language you're working with support. Like, as long as you can type in it. As long as you can type in it, it's good enough. I just like NeoVim because I enjoy it, and I like messing around with it. Okay, what do we want? Get op. Return op. I would interpret the two chat messages however you wish. Like, NeoVim is like better, but also like VS Code is also better, you know? Just don't use Visual Studio. Visual Studio is the worst. Nobody likes Visual Studio. Is it C++? Yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, unlucky. What can I say? The truth is the truth. Me when I have to dedicate half of my resources to running Visual Studio. Me when I have to pay for Visual Studio. Oh, game dev, actually fair enough. That is like the one legitimate use for it, I think. Arrow visit. Oh, I need to make the visitor. What's I was using JetBrains, but they do too much work. Yeah, I think it's all like preference at the end of the day. Like with JetBrains JetBrains IDEs I feel like is necessary for like Java specifically, because there's just so much slush that's like pretty standard. But like I could see like with C/C++, there's a lot of stuff that you need to like do by hand regardless, so that's fair. I don't pay for Visual Studio. I might be thinking of a different version. Let me look this up. I might be thinking... Oh, that's my stream. Oh. This is the button. There we go. . Yeah, imagine needing a license for an editor. Couldn't be me. How are you coding without AI? I've done like some messing around with AI tooling before. Like I've used Copilot Chat. I've used like a Copilot plugin. I used it for a while, and then I was like, low key is kind of annoying. And the reasoning is like really stupid. It's because like my Copilot autocomplete is tab, and that prevents me from like typing indents with tab. So I'd have to like type spaces, which is annoying. So I ended up turning it off because I found it less useful. Hey Lakesh, good to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I mean, I think AI is still valuable in terms of like moving quickly, but it's like it's very up to you as to how you use it. It leaves you a lot of rope, I guess I will say. What do I want this visitor to have? We want it to have void visit instruction binary op pointer I. If you're learning, you don't need to be moving quickly. Yeah, that is why I like ended up turning it off. But like I can see why it's useful in like a business setting or like a more enterprise function. How did I do the visitors before? Also, my AC does not sound good. Let me... It sounds like it's struggling a little. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I need the visitor for just plain instruction, actually. Good at search engine and boilerplate? Yeah. I'd also extend that to just like mundane tasks. Like a lot of like the find and replace stuff that like Vim find and replace is good for, I'd argue that LLMs are also really good for. Instruction call. There we go. I guess I could add terminators here. I don't think I really need them though. I lied, I do need them. Let's see. There we go. Private member. Oh, whoops. There we go. Fixed. All right, next up. So we have binary op implemented. We need call. So let's steal these, I guess. Actually, I could probably make a macro for this. Let's give this a try. Yeah, cheers, Cyber. Thanks for stopping by. It's been enjoyable chatting with you. So let's record a macro. Start here. Instruction call. Double colon. And insert braces. So then we can... Does this work? That does not do what I want it to. So let's just... I just deleted the macro I wrote. That's really unlucky. Okay, well, that's fine. Can you explain what you're doing? I am writing a compiler, and I am working on the optimizer language right now. That is the rough... That is like the very level 0 explanation. What? Oh. Value type. And then callee. This one here, it doesn't return. I'm JavaScript developer. Poor guy. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't understand a lot of JavaScript, like, a lot of the more modern JavaScript features either, so, like, fair enough. Hopefully you can learn something from me, and I can learn something from you as well. JavaScript has always been, like, really scary to me to use, just because, like, it's just, like, such a finicky language, I feel like. There's a lot of ways you can, like, silently not do what you want it to. That's that boilerplate written, and then all we need is return terminator now, I think. I guess I should like slow down for a second and explain, I guess like, or you guys like try and explain what's happening here. I'm not gonna go over this diagram again, but the idea is instead of, we have m different source languages and n different assembly languages. So instead of directly writing compilers between them, we can just write sort of like half a compiler that turns it into this intermediate language. And then we can write half compilers from this intermediate language down to the assemblies, and that saves a lot of work. And then we can also like reuse various optimizations here as well. So I've written this like half compiler from C down to this for the most part now, and I'm currently working on writing this intermediate language. And then in terms of what this language is structured like, I guess this goes to like some standard like control flow graph theory. So we have like, if we have like a program, what's the best way to draw this? It's like you might just think of like a program as like a list of instructions at a glance. So we have like I equals 0. We have, let me just like type something up as an example. So we have like I equals 0, j equals I, or let's have like if some other value j is greater than 3, then we're just gonna do like Python-esque formatting. We have like k equals 1, else we have like k equals 3. Let's set like I to something else. Let's set this to like 2. And then we like return I plus k, just as an example. So how would we represent this program in a, I guess like in memory? We could treat each instruction as like, we could treat it as like a sequential list of instructions, but then on like this if section, we could like we could create like a fork in the road. So we have like I equals 2, and then we have j greater than 3, and then this forks off into like k equals 1, k equals 3. And then these reconverge to like return. As an example. Pardon my poor mouse handwriting. But this could be like a little bit complex because there's like these sorts of like straight line connections that we can simplify into a sort of block. So the idea here is we have this thing, if we go up a level here into my like general program structure. So we have a program, this has a list of functions, and then each function has a list of what's called a basic block. And what a basic block is it sort of simplifies these sorts of straight line connections into one grouping. And that allows us to simplify the graph. So we can sort of treat this as a graph between various basic blocks. And then a basic block contains a list of instructions, so this can have like XYZ other instructions. And then it has to have what's called a terminator. And that either like ends control flow or it tells it where to go. So we have like a conditional terminator here, for instance. This terminator would be like a C jump or like a conditional branch. And then these would just be like a direct branch down one way. And then the terminator here would be the return. So that is what this like terminator thing here that I'm writing is. So that's like, I went like really loose and fast over that. But that's like a very high level explanation of like general intermediate language design here. What resources are you currently using to learn about compilers? A lot of it is just like background knowledge I had from one of the compiler classes I took. But I just never really had a chance to like implement it. And then there's also like various self-learning I've done to support compiler research stuff that I've been doing for like the past year and a half. But I felt kind of fraudulent in the past just because I haven't like written a lot, or I haven't like learned too much in terms of like practical application of stuff. So part of me writing this is to, I guess, solidify that understanding and like get myself more hands-on experience with actually like implementing these sorts of theoretical foundations. Also, I want to like get more into learning about optimizations and writing new optimizations, and part of that requires just learning about what already exists. So another like side goal of this project is to write a lot of the existing optimizations by myself by hand. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I need to like do a lot of the scaffolding first, but after that it'll definitely be more enjoyable, I think. I didn't choose the compiler class in undergrad. It looks so fun. Yeah. The one at the school I go to is notoriously difficult. It's like 20 hours of work a week. It was definitely, there were definitely some nights where I was like, why did I take this? But in hindsight, I think it was the most interesting class I've taken in my past 3 years combined. Imagine you never grow old? I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. I would not want to permanently be treated as a child. Terminator, right, return. Ben, can I work as your counselor? I believe that position is already filled, unfortunately. Yeah, apologies. So here we want to return value. Yeah, I just saw your channel pop up. Persistence is key. Good luck. Thank you. I appreciate the support. What am I missing here? I'm missing this. I want to pursue master's in CS and learn more about low level stuff. Yeah, that is also like, I know of a couple of other people that are pursuing an MS just because they didn't really have a lot of time to get acclimated to more low level concepts. If I were to give advice on that, I think the biggest thing is just like try to take classes that get more into like get into more like systems stuff or like computer architecture-y things sooner than later, because it's a field that like it's very easy to forget about when you exclusively take classes for like software engineering related reasons. And I definitely wish I started taking those sooner, because I'm pretty much out of time to take them. So yeah, that kind of sucks for me. Already started working for almost a year? Oh. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Luckily, the internet is vast and the internet is very helpful. Praying for your success. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm 18 and doing JS dev for money. I've taken one year gap this year, so I haven't joined bachelor's. My goal this year is earning money and getting out of financial stuff. Yeah, that's fair. I think like there is no linear path for a computer science degree. What are you doing? I'm working on a compiler that turns C code into assembly. It's based on like a traditional 3-stage compiler design. I've currently written the part that turns C into an intermediate language for the most part, but I need to work on the intermediate language. So that is what all the stuff today has been. Are in college? Yes. My classes start up in like 2 weeks. Imagine Ben channel boom and Ben gets 20K per month. That would be great, but that's not happening. Let's be real. Right. Cheers short. I can't speak. Yeah, that's a good time for me to start wrapping up as well. Yeah, take care, man. I'm gonna commit this code, and then I think that's where I'm gonna call the stream. We got a pretty good, I think we got a pretty good PAL done today. Interest in HFT dev? I'm not familiar with that term. Oh, I need to implement the visitor, I just realized. Actually, no, I don't need to implement the visitor. It's an interface. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've like looked into quant a little bit. I feel like that's, it's something that I'm like maybe interested in, but it's not really like my primary focus. Like, roles that like support quant in terms of just like straight compiler development are definitely like interesting to me. But I don't think like becoming a quant would be really enjoyable for me. Do you think coding can be a useful skill for lawyers? I think yes, absolutely. Especially given how LLMs are becoming more prevalent. I think there will eventually be some variety of court cases that involve just like LLM based sort of issues. Things like something that I did research for a couple years back was about like whether an LLM can be considered like an inventor for a patent, because it's not technically a person, but there is also like not really a designatable nearest person, so that could like cause various lawsuits. I definitely think being familiar with it could be useful, but it largely depends on like what you're trying to go into. Like it would be a lot more useful for like if you were going into like law for like large companies versus like immigration, for instance. Quant dev equals more money, that is true, but it also equals like worse work-life balance. So I would need to I would need to balance that in some way. Git push. There we go. Coding could help do statistics and analysis. Maybe for some lawsuits that could be useful. Yeah, that's probably true. It's up to you how much of that you would want to do by hand, or how much of that you'd want to outsource to an LLM. Yeah. I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream about here. I got a decent portion of stuff done. I consolidated like the general design of this IR, and then maybe like a little bit of stuff here and there. What's good, Levy? Unfortunately, I'm about to wrap up, so that's unlucky. Yeah, make sure you like the stream, make sure you subscribe if you're new here. It really helps out with the algorithm. While you're down there, you should join the Discord. That's the best place to get notified when I go live, and chat with the general community. I'll dream of you in my sleep. Maybe don't do that one. I'm flattered, but I would much rather not. Yeah. Yeah, I stream around when the LeetCode daily resets every day. So if you don't join the Discord, you can expect me live around that time tomorrow. So take care all, take it easy.